Hello and welcome. My name is Katie, and I have been practicing yoga for since high school, so more than 10 years, and it has served me very well throughout my life, and it has helped me come in touch with my mind, body, and soul. It has helped my anxiety. It helps my breathing because I have really bad asthma. You'll notice I take a lot of breaths throughout my practice. My sinuses, and just in general, it helps quiet my mind. A lot of misconceptions about yoga is that it's all about these big poses where you gotta stand on your head and you gotta flip your legs over your head, and by all means go for it at your own pace. But it's not really so much about that. It's about being still within the poses, which reconnects you to your mind, body, and your soul. Yoga is a lot about being grounded. So feel the ground. Where you're sitting, it's about becoming one with, I believe in God. So that's kind of where I come into practice, as I like to think of it as also my time to connect with God, my Father, my Jesus. So here we are. I'm going to stop babbling. We're going to get into it. But this is going to be a very, very short, to the sweet, to the point, nice, steady poses. And this came to fruition because my dad was like, I'm having issues with my shoulder. And I said, can you please raise your arm, over your head, like so, to stretch your arms? And he could barely get it up. And that was concerning to me. So I said, hey, Dad, why don't I make a short video and you have to watch it, because he doesn't do any stretching. And often most men don't, not even my fiance. So I'm here. If you want to watch this, great. If you want to try it, great. You do you, okay? But this is going to be more of a gentle flow. I want to do a lot of stretching within the upper body. And I do apologize, I'm peeling because I did get a sunburn. So here we go. So I want you to get in a comfortable position. I usually use my mat. Sometimes I'll use my little blanket to help in case I need a little extra cushion. Wear something comfortable. I like my cotton leggings and my tees that I usually put them, tuck them in so my belly's not hanging out, even though I love my belly. But just be comfortable, I won't wear anything too restricting, So we're going to start in a very, very easy, seated, comfortable position. Sometimes people will say in yoga practice, make sure that your sit bones are on the ground. So you can even just take your bottom and kind of make sure that you are grounded. Really feel your bottom on the ground. And if this is too uncomfortable for you, this is why I am a firm believer in blankies and pillows. If you have a body pillow or a pillow you want to put under, if this is too uncomfortable for you, I want you to be comfortable. If you need to sit in a chair, sit in a chair. So we're just going to sit here. We're just going to recognize the day. We're going to start getting into our breath. You're going to start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. It's really about connecting yourself back to yourself. Throughout the day, we get so crazy, especially during this time, that we tend to leave ourselves. This is a time to get back to ourselves. Even though this is for stretching, it's also to calm the mind, the body, and the soul. A couple more breaths here. Really deep in the breath. And out through the mouth. One more deep breath. And out. Gently flutter your eyes. And we're going to begin. So if you are seated in a chair or on the floor, wherever you're comfortable, I want you to imagine like a string is pulling your head up to the sky. We're gonna start real gentle, guys, real gentle. We're gonna take the right ear and we're gonna drop it towards the right shoulder. And we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Yoga practice is about the breath as well. We come back to center. Now we're gonna switch. Left earlobe drops to the left shoulder. We're gonna do one more round of that. You might even notice that that actually relieves tension already. Come back to center, and then once more. I want you to just roll the neck. Roll it. Roll it nice and slow. Nice and slow. And then we're gonna reverse it. Just at your own pace, and the biggest thing is do not forget to breathe when we come back to center. We're gonna look down. We're gonna let the eyes get heavy almost and gaze down. We also drop the chin down to the chest. And breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. And in through the nose and out through our mouth. One more. Out. Look back up at me. Hello. We're gonna get a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna start to move. We're gonna shrug the shoulders up, real gentle. We almost wanna pretend like our shoulders are touching our earlobes, and then we relax. No sudden movements, so don't just pluck your shoulders down. Nice and slow. We wanna treat our bodies kindly, and then we come down. We're gonna do two more. And then down, and then once more, and then down. We're gonna roll our shoulders forward, and then we're gonna roll them back. Mine crack. I don't know about you, but if you're sitting over here, you could hear my bones cracking. Breathe in once more. Let it out. Give it a little shake, just a little shake. All right, we're gonna take our fingers, we're gonna place them on the ground, okay? Or if you're sitting in your chair, you can put them right on the edges of your seat, okay? If you're sitting in the chair, so I don't want to forget the chair people. We're going to firmly plant our right, either on the chair or on the floor. We're gonna palms up, raise the left arm slowly. Now some people may only be able to get to here, okay? I recognize that. So I want you to be aware of how much you should put yourself, because you should never hurt throughout yoga practice. Never ever hurt yourselves, please. And you're gonna lift gently, just as far as you can go. If here is fine, if my more advanced practicers can bend down all the way, you do what's comfortable for you. And we're gonna breathe wherever you are. And let it out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Once more. And out. And slowly bring it back to center. Again, slow, guys, slow. This is all about just bringing it down. Left hand firmly on the ground or on your chair or on the couch. Wiggles up, put your fingers up, palms up towards the sky, and we lean. And again, if you can only get up to here or even here, that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna be practicing throughout either half halfway or I'll do the full pose, but you do what's comfortable for you. I'm gonna get a little deeper in the stretch, and just remember to breathe and let it out. And once more. And bring it all the way down. Wherever you're sitting, whether it be in a chair or on the ground, I want you to be mindful for this next movement. We're going to push our hands out. We're going to place them on the ground. Now, if you're in your chair, I would advise to please be careful, okay? You're going to try to touch the ground or your toes or your knees, whatever feels comfortable for you. I work with the elderly a lot, so we only can really touch to our knee tops. So just really be mindful as you move down. So we're going to take our fingertips and you're going to slowly crawl, slowly, mindful about your movement. Now some folks, you may not be able to get all the way down. And again, that's okay, it's where you're at. So again, do not hurt. I don't want this to be hurting you at all. It shouldn't hurt. It should feel good. And you come down to where you are comfortable at. And you breathe in. Let it out. Breathe in. And out. Once more. Hi, Zoe. And out. Zoe loves practicing yoga with her mother. And we're going to slowly crawl back up. Slowly, slowly. Now I want you to breathe in and push out. Okay? Get a little shake, a little shake. All right. Now we are going to keep sitting. We're going to take our right arm and hand, and we're going to raise it as high as we can. Okay? In yoga, we tend to try to reach for the sky. That's always our thought. And our bottom is we want to be grounded. So we want to root ourselves and stretch up. Bring in all the good energies, all the good energies. And just hold and just breathe. If you want a deeper stretch, we're going to keep our right hand extended. We're going to take the left hand and we're going to wrap it around our lower back for a deeper extension. We're going to fold the right elbow and we're going to crawl the hands. Now, again, they don't have to touch. Nothing says your hands have to touch for yoga. This is all about meeting you where you're at. And you breathe in, whether you're just extended or you're deeper. And release. Just let it all fall. And if you have to come down from a pose, that's fine. Now we're going to switch. We're going to raise the left arm. Extend those fingertips. Engage the fingertips. And whether you're here, sometimes stretching out, almost like field goal, touchdown. This is also comfortable for people. So if you can extend, try to. If you can't, stay in this position. And for a deeper stretch, we're going to bend the left elbow. We wrap the right arm around to our lower back, and we crawl to let our hands touch. And again, they may touch, they may not. Mine are not touching if that makes you feel better. Today, my shoulders are tight. Once more. And we slowly release. Release it all to the floor. All to the floor. We're gonna breathe in once more and breathe out. we're going to do something that's called a twist stretch, okay? And we do this in yoga, we do this in regular stretching as well, but it feels really good. So where you're sitting, again, get those buttocks planted firmly, and all we're going to do is take the right hand, we're gonna reach back, we're gonna take the opposite hand, touch the opposite knee, okay? I'm gonna do that once more. So right hand behind my back, opposite hand over opposite knee. We twist as deeply as we can, doesn't have to be super deep, and we gaze over the right side. Once more in, let it out. And we bring it back to center slowly. Now we're going to switch to the left side. So we're going to take the left hand, put it behind the back. Right hand comes up, opposite knee, and we twist. Gazing over. One more deep breath. And release. Yeah, that's a good stretch. All right, so just give yourself a little rub down. Rub the legs, rub the arms. We're gonna move a little bit deeper, okay? We're gonna extend. I'm actually gonna switch the way that I'm sitting, I think. So that way you guys can see my mat and my body. All right, so we're gonna extend our legs. We're sitting. Get those buttocks on the ground, okay? Now when you're sitting in a chair, this would be very difficult to do. So I would advise maybe to just take a few breaths while we do a few more stretches. If you want to, you can try to do this in your seated position, and you would be only doing it one arm at a time. So you'd be stretching down to one leg, you'd be stretching to the other. So this is good for the lower, and it's also good for the upper. So we are going to take our fingers and we're going to slowly reach out and extend. Only to as far as you can. And if that means you can only meet and lower to your knees if you're sitting in a chair, or lower, then that is okay. You're gonna lean forward. And then bring it back up. We're gonna take the right leg and we're gonna switch it over the left. Okay? And if you're sitting in a chair, you still are feeling ready to keep going with us. You're gonna cross your legs, almost like you're sitting in a cross-legged position on the chair. You're gonna take the left arm, twist it over the right knee, extend those fingers long and wide, because we wanna keep engaged. That's the biggest thing, is sometimes with the stretching, we tend to let things flop, but keeping all of our bodies, all of our parts engaged, that's what helps. So we do the opposite. We take the right hand, we extend and look over. So this is much, much like our twisted pose, but sitting in a cross-legged position. We're going to do this. Hold this for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let it all fall back. We're going to take the left leg and we're going to switch it over the right knee. We're going to take the opposite arm. Hello. Wave like the queen. And we're going to place it over the left knee. Engage. And we're going to take that left arm and we're going to lean back. If you have to look forward, that's fine. If you have to look down, that's fine. We're just going to gaze over. Breathing deeply. We're here for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let it all come down. Shake it out a little bit, shake it out. All right, we're going to slowly, if we can, get to our knees. We are going to, from here, put our hands onto the floor, okay? So whatever you do it mindfully, do it peacefully. Sometimes I've been having wrist issues when I've been doing my poses, so I put this little blanket here. Sometimes to give me extra cushion because I'm very delicate. All right. So from this position, we're going to do the cat-cow pose. If you have never done this before, I'm going to try to guide you with my voice. I know, stretch. Oh, Zoe's doing her yoga too. This is called tabletop position where we are right now. You want to keep a flat back, head extended. So as we inhale, we're going to curl the back up, pressing the belly button back almost to the sky. And as we exhale, we round the back, pushing our tailbone up to the sky. Extend the head forward. As we inhale, we push out, we push in. And as we exhale, we push out. During the cat-cow, we usually do our own breath, own rhythm. So really try to see if you can get into your own rhythm with this. And we breathe out. And if you want to, if you feel comfortable, you can just keep with my pace. We're going to do just once more on each pose. All right, and we're gonna let the head just kind of shake. Just let it shake a little bit. All right, I'm gonna move my blanket because we are going to move into something called a child's pose. I want you to bring the knees together, bring the toes together. Walk the hands out a little wider. Then we're going to widen the knees, okay? We're gonna sink down into child's pose. You lower your head all the way to the ground. You let it kiss the ground. I'm going to do that once more for you guys since this is more of a beginner thing. So you're going to keep the knees together, feet together, hands out, spread those fingers out wide. Then we take the knees to the outer edge of the mat and we sink low. Drop the head. We breathe in and out. Throughout our yoga practice, coming down to the child's pose is a very nice way to reconnect throughout different sequence of poses. Give yourself a little break. Give yourself a little time. If you notice your mind wandering, see where it's wandering off to. Maybe there's something that's on your mind. Hopefully this practice will help you. I hope that Zoe's sniffing me and not Joe. We're gonna extend those fingertips even wider. Really get deep in the stretch. Slowly bring yourself back up to tabletop. I want you to just stay in this position just for a few. As you are ready and at your own speed, we're going to push into a downward dog. Downward dog can be a little challenging. I know the first time I tried it, I was a little terrified, but I'm here to guide you. And if it feels too much and it is hurting, then please do not proceed. So we're going to take from the tabletop. We're taking the toes, okay? Taking the toes, and we're gonna curl them under, okay? Our goal is to take our bottom half and we're almost pushing it out towards the sky and towards the back wall. So on the count of 3, we're gonna push back. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna lift and we push. So we do not have to come all the way straight-legged. We can come halfway. We can still keep our knees on the ground if that's where you're at, and that's okay. But we're gonna try to get into that downward dog. We can pedal it out. Pedal, pedal, pedal. We're gonna look up at our fingertips and we're gonna slowly walk to the tops of our mats. And here, we're gonna be bending over. Bear with me because I'm gonna move my yoga mat because I wanna face you guys. And this is where we're gonna get more of our stretching in. I'm also gonna take a sip of water, and it's okay to take a sip of water. I love water. All right, so we're gonna come to the tops of our mats. This is called a mountain pose. So the goal of this pose, let's see if I can get a little bit further back, is planting our toes, planting the outer edges of our feet and completely grounding to the floor, to the earth. We're gonna raise our palms facing up and we're gonna stand tall. Breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Once more. And out. We're going to do a forward fold. So we're going to take our fingers and we're going to run them down our legs. And if we can only reach our kneecaps, that's okay. If we can only reach our calves, that's okay. If we can only reach our toes, that's okay. If we can go to the ground, that's great. It does not matter where you are at. It's a matter of what feels good. We're gonna extend over. I'm gonna run you through a sun salutation, and this is gonna be probably more of the closing of our time together, but it's gonna feel very, very good. It's a nice flowy stretch. So you're gonna reach all the way down. We're gonna breathe in and breathe out. We're also gonna just shake our heads, no? We're gonna shake our heads, yes. This is also very, very good for the shoulders. We're also gonna cross our arms and we're just gonna rock a little bit. Just get it nice and loose. We're gonna deepen the knees, the bending of the knees, and we're gonna get nice and closer to the ground or to our feet or to our knees. And we're gonna breathe in, and as we breathe in, we reach halfway. This is where we forward fold halfway and our backs are flat and our head is pointing straight. So we breathe in halfway and then we come back down all the way down. Now, because this is more of a beginner salutations, I'm gonna be going a little bit slower. Feel free to speed it up if you'd like. We're gonna reach back down almost to where we were at with the downward dog. And we're going to push our legs back out and we're gonna come down slowly. Then we're gonna go into Cobra. Cobra is halfway. We lift and we bring it back down. Placing the fingers firmly into the ground, pushing the toes back into the ground, we're going to lift back up into downward dog, or you can go into child's pose, which is again pushing the legs and the hips back into a resting pose. Or if you'd like to go all the way, we go back into downward dog, pushing the back all the way up. from this place, we're going to breathe in. We're going to do a nice yogi breath out. Push all of it out. Slowly walk the feet slowly back to the hands. And we're going to bend all the way over. Forward fold. We're going to lift halfway up. Bring it all the way down. Now this time, we're not going to go back into salutations, but I just wanted to give you that practice so you can do that, and that is the sun salutations. Beautiful practice in the morning or in the evening, whenever you feel like it. But it's definitely refreshing. We're going to push our fingers into the ground, push our legs out, come down onto all fours back into tabletop. We're going to slowly press back into the knees and meet here. We're going to breathe in deeply. We're going to let it out. Let it back in. Let it out. Slowly, we're going to unravel our legs and meet back on our bottoms. Back into our normal seated position. I want you to breathe in nice and deep. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. This is a very challenging time for all of us, and it's very easy to get wrapped up in our thoughts and in our worries. But it's important for us to have a practice like this, not only for the body, but for the mind and the soul. It has helped me extremely with anxiety. Now this is just one section. This is just one little chunk. The sun salutations and the practice that we did today. You can do that. You can do that wherever you are. Morning, evening, afternoon, whenever, in your pajamas. Wherever you're at, you should be able to drop into your mat and breathe in and out. So one last breath here. Once you reach your arms all the way up, and again, if you can only get them to that touchdown, that's okay. All the way out. We're going to bring the hands together. We're going to drop the thumbs to our third eye, which is located in the middle of our forehead, as our yogis like to say. We're going to bring it to our mind for good thoughts, our mouths for good words,